Good afternoon. We're happy that you joined us at Nile University again at our session for women in engineering. This is our fourth session. We have discussed a lot about technical stuff such as wearable devices and antenna and fractional equations. However, now it's time for a social topic in this series of workshops, which is the academic challenges that faces women during their academic career. We will be seeing several interviews with women who work in both academia and industry, and then we will have another interview with our life coach, Dr. Mary Faisal, to see how we could solve these challenges. Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Alia Ruhaim, welcome to this series of Women in Engineering workshops funded by IEEE CAS and Nile University. Dr. Alia is a professor for marketing and retail management. She acted as a consultant for many years for different industries, as well as being a full-time marketing director for 7 years, and currently she has her own startup. So I found that asking Dr. Alia about her challenges is a very good opportunity because she combines several hats, having a startup, a professor, and also working as a corporate marketing director. Dr. Alia, the floor is yours. You can please tell us about the challenges that you faced during your academic life.
Thank you, Dr. Irene. I really appreciate being with you today. And if I think about the challenges, I would actually divide them into 3. The first of which is that usually educational institutes, they tend to ask for your presence on campus, whether now because of the COVID, it's still on virtual basis, but they ask for your presence. And the concept that you have a part-time teaching commitment entails that you actually cannot be on the campus most of the time. So this was one of the very first challenges that I had, which is combining my work commitment, whether the consultancy, the full-time employment, or even the entrepreneurship commitment with the teaching opportunities, especially that also most of the educational institutes, they do not provide special schedules for part-time opportunities. You actually fit with the schedule of whenever the course is being taught. So always the management of the time and your availability is a question. The second challenge was also the fact that you tend to stick to a curriculum. This definitely differs from one institute to the other. I mean, some institutes have more flexibility in allowing you to add a taste of life, a practical experience, devise the course structure as you wish, whether with a practical project or a number of assignments, field visits. But unfortunately, in the business field specifically, what happens is that you do not have such, I would say, field activities or outdoor activities. Engineering, it tends to be more acceptable that you have a field trip. But unfortunately, in business, that's not the case, while it makes all the difference for the students. I guess the third challenge would be from a, I would say, a female perspective. You tend to need to be a bit more firm with the students. Definitely this, I would say it decreases, its importance decreases when you're teaching postgraduates, because they would have been more mature by now, they started working, they have a couple of years of experience, they're actually subsidizing their own tuition, they're paying from their own money in order to have a master's. But for the undergraduates, you still need to be a bit more firm, being a female professor rather than a male professor. It just like comes with the package. So this is, I would say that the availability of time the flexibility of devising the course as you wish so that you can give them a lot of hands-on. And within my experience, I taught in a number of universities. Within my experience, the more practical application or the practical side of the course, the better the, I would say, the enjoyment of the students and also the takeaway knowledge from the course, rather than the typical textbook teaching. And I believe, last but not least, you just have to put your foot down, set your own rules. Especially with the part-time, they tend to feel that you're always, you should be in office hours. Whenever I pass by your office, you're supposed to be there. If I have a question, you need to be reachable. And this becomes a serious challenge when you are a part-timer. However, I would say that despite those three categories, I still enjoyed the teaching for, I would say, the past 17, for the past like 12 years in multiple institutes and multiple disciplines. And I believe that when you enjoy teaching away from the administrative commitments, it actually becomes much more enjoyable. You tend to build a lot of connection with your students, and you continue on being their reference. Later on, I had the pleasure of writing reference letters for students that joined postgraduate studies in the UK, in the US, and Canada, and it automatically makes you feel very, very proud, despite the challenges.
Thank you, Dr. Alia, for sharing this experience with us, and you pinpointed to very important challenges, and hopefully our life coach for today's session will give us some insights on how to work on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Have a lovely day.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our series for Women and Engineering. Our guest today is Dr. Dina Kayali. She is the head of marketing and market research at Edge for training and consulting. She's also a professor at the School of Business and Finance in New Giza. She also works as a statistical data analyst and performance management consultant at a number of ministries and companies. And she has led the marketing and market research departments at several consulting agencies. She also provides training programs to various companies in the banking, manufacturing, and telecommunication sectors, both in Egypt and the MENA region. So Dr. Dina will talk today about her challenges in her academic life, plus her challenges in the industry, which is a very good example on how to show the strength of women in academia and industry. Thank you, Dr. Dina, for joining us in this short interview. We would like to hear your insights about this topic.
Thank you, Dr. Irene. Well, I do not think that anyone can doubt that we have the stamina, the persistence to succeed. Well, since you introduced me as a statistician, this is the first challenge. When I graduated from Kuwait University, but with a specialization that is not common, being an applied statistician always raised a certain question. Okay, what would you do for a living? Are you that person who counts people during the census? Well, actually, I'm not. Okay, then what do you do? What is an applied statistician? So the first challenge is to introduce this type of business to people. This is a very unique part of the statistical science that supports management in taking better decisions. So we are half analysts, half strategists by default. But again, this is not a known specialization in the Arab world. So I had a chance to work with ministries. For them, I was one of their consultants on international projects. I worked with United Nations, I worked with the national banks. I worked with those international agencies as a international statistician. Okay, I managed to do the needed job, but there's always another issue, which is, okay, you are a statistician, but data is always classified. Well, by default, data is not classified. Data is common because it helps us learn. But to them, to those gatekeepers, data is always classified. So you, Dina, has to have your own methods and ways to get the data accurately. Because if you did not do so, our decisions will be defected. So the first challenge was introducing statistics, applied statistics to people, and then to collect data, which means I have to be resilient in order to be able to get that amount of data. This was challenge number one. Then after a while, I realized that I have reached my limits in the ministries. I wanted to shift career. Why? Because I believe statistics can do lots of things. So I decided to study Six Sigma, which is well known to engineers as the quality control, the modern quality control approach.
Yes, lean manufacturing, whenever we hear it.
Exactly. But to them, I'm not an engineer. I'm a statistician. So I'm going into a field that is usually selected by engineers. But the tools are for statisticians. So take the exam and be certified. But since the exam is online and the exam is statistics, then I passed. But when you go to a factory without an engineer, you're not allowed because you're not an engineer.
So this was a big challenge.
You have to work with someone. And when you find a certain defect, you're always questioned. How did you get it? The data told me, well, no. Definitely someone, an insider talked to you, which is not true. The data did tell the truth. So number two was always to be able to defend my position. And to defend my position using strong data, strong facts. This was number two. Then I decided, okay, I will shift for the third time. I will go to work with marketeers. Oh, but I have a master's degree in statistics. I have a bachelor degree in statistics, but I have never taken a single course in marketing as an undergrad, none whatsoever. So I had to learn. So number three was I had to read books about marketing. I took a master in marketing, and then my doctorate degree is in marketing. I remember that my boss at that point of time gave us a reading program, gave us all in his office, all his subordinates. Each and every one of us, he assigned us a book per month. I finished reading all 12 books in less than 5 months. He was very skeptical. Because I got the most hefty books. So he decided to discuss it with me.
It's like an exam.
Yes. By the way, he is a marketing guru, well-known, and a wonderful person, of course. But he was so skeptical. Could she read all this? I'm a fast reader, by the way. It's a gift from God. So when he discussed it with me, oh, she did read. This means she's taking everything seriously. So he gave me another challenge, which is that company, this is a local consultancy, and we do not see consumer products. We see business-to-business products. Steel, cement, waterproofing, marble, tiles. Those were my clients. This is a continuous challenge to understand the market in a very short term, and then to design the research, do the analysis properly, and give our clients proper feedback.
And every time it's a new product.
Totally different. Bearing in mind, I'm not an engineer.
Yes.
So the basic information regarding steel, cement. I remember my first case was flat steel. I did not even know that there is something called flat steel. I have never seen it before. So each and every project is a new challenge. I have to be up to it. I always wait for a certain statement that is, wow, you're so knowledgeable about our industry. This means I succeeded.
Exactly.
Then my manager now, the founder of Edge, decided to push me a little bit more. And this time was to work as a trainer. I'm an introvert, Dr. Irene. I'm an introvert. I do not speak to people. I prefer to work behind the screen. But my boss decided, and my aunt, to me, she is like a mother. She saw something that I did not see. She saw it. I did not see it. She pushed me to be part of a program, well-known program given at the AUC. She was at that point of time a manager at the AUC. So she pushed me to become a trainer. She was very confident that I will succeed. On that first day, she went home. She left me in the class and went home. I did not even imagine that she would leave me. She should stay with me. She's my mother. But when I talked to her, once I finished the first session, she was laughing and told me, no, I'm very confident that you will do super in that session. At that point of time, I needed to work on Dina. This was a fourth challenge to me. To become an extrovert, I'm reverting my nature. You cannot be a consultant, you cannot be an educator, you cannot be a trainer if you cannot talk to people. I used to prefer to stay away. So this was the fourth one. And then there is a fifth. When I left that local consultancy, I went to an international agency based in Egypt, which is KPMG, Hazem Hassan. I was the regional market research manager. At that type of firms, at auditors like Hazem Hassan, they do not have senior partners as females. It's not common. It's not. You don't have them there. There is no rule, as it is known. No, nothing is written, yet it's a common practice. I joined them actually as not a partner, but as an associate, which is number 2. And they did not treat me easy.
Another big challenge in your career.
It was because of 2 things. Number 1 is I'm a woman in a pure male environment. Number 2, I'm talking about data collected from the market, while they prefer data written in papers. So they cannot understand how I do collect data. So I have to educate them. They might be convinced or not. It's up to me to convince them. Yet I succeeded, because when I left, Mr. Hazem Hassan himself asked me to establish my own company. Because he
believed in you.
Research. Yes, he believed in me, and he actually hired me. He's the one who hired me, and I'm so grateful. I went out and I found that my current boss has a company for us. She established a company for us, me and her children. That's why she considered me as one of them. Actually, I'm the elder, Bikriya. To her, I'm the Bikriya. But we started working, and this was another challenge, which is how to be always confident that your team, collectors, the researchers on the ground do get you the truth. Because you are building strategies. I am currently building strategies, communication plan, even feasibility. If I did not get proper data, then my client is at risk. How can I manage a team of researchers and always get the truth? My method is layers of, this is a method, so I had to develop my own layers of supervision and me on the ground. Up until now, I collect data myself. And they know that for a fact.
I have to admit that you collected data in a project that we worked together in a very professional way. And I have to admit that the data was very difficult to collect. And we made it, I know.
Yes. And for them, okay, no, we have to be careful because Dr. Dina is on the ground with us. She's not in her ivory tower up there. No. We might turn around and find her because actually this is what happens in several cases. A data collector takes a certain appointment, goes into the appointment, and when he gets out, I am in my car asking him to give me the data because I'm going in to validate again. And this is well known for me. So some of the researchers, if they knew that I am the owner of this project, they would not come. No. She's so strict. I am so strict. Because as a woman, I do not have a chance to fail.
This is definitely part of the success, I know.
I have to be always very, very cautious and true. So people would say, currently, she is a female بمية راجل, i.e., they can depend on me. If Dina said she will do it, inshallah, she will succeed. So I faced so many challenges. Each and every one, I had to deal with it differently. One through training myself, one through learning, reading, and most of them is putting myself at the edge.
Hence because the name of the company.
Yes. I'm always at the edge because I'm always taking risk. Knowing that I have enough knowledge, I have enough experience that will help me revive. But I take risks. I always go the extra mile for my client, even if it's not written in our proposal, our contract. I gave him the word. I have to keep my word. So
and all this experience definitely affected your teaching life, definitely.
Well, I say that I have currently another challenge that I'm not that successful in it, which is teaching to undergrads.
Yes.
Clearly, there is a huge age gap between us. I'm almost double, I think a little bit more, double their age.
Women don't say their age.
I do.
Okay.
Because we do not grow older, we grow wiser.
Exactly.
We do not grow older. We are like the perfume. We get better by age. This is us.
Definitely.
This is us, all of us. This is the female gene.
Okay.
Because we forge, we get better. We forge through such challenges. We become better. We develop. We become more mature, more wise. That's why currently we are on the boards of many companies. Ladies, we are leading companies, and we are required to increase this number. According to the Egyptian law, 25% of board members should be women. I am now in one of those boards, and we're doing very well.
You already had a lot of prizes related to women, I think.
Yes. Last year, actually, I was astonished because I was selected as one of the 50 most influential women. Thank you, definitely, for them. Thank you so much for them. But if you want to, if you want my honest opinion, Dr. Irene, when I go into any place, a restaurant, a shop, wherever, and someone rushes to you to tell you, Doctor, I'm one of your students, and I became a manager. I always remember what you said regarding this or that. At that point of time,
you feel so proud.
I realized that I succeeded. I succeeded. I succeeded.
Exactly.
When someone uses one of our tools that we educate them to, for example, use a certain methodology, a certain application, and when he uses it, he sends you over the Facebook saying that today I used what you taught us, and it was really appreciated by my managers. Thank you. This thank you is the most valuable prize.
Yeah, it's a reward for all the challenges you've passed through. Definitely.
Yes. When you see someone in the street, you cannot remember his name. You saw him years ago, but he knows you. And some of them, because I'm a little bit older than them, much older than them, they might even hug me. To them, I'm a bigger sister or even a mother. So they hug me, and you can feel how sincere they are. This is the most important prize, the love of people. It's not about trophies. Love of people. And another thing, when you go to a conference, talk well, present your case properly, and they say that you are from Egypt. You stay, you feel so proud, as if you represent this legacy. Not many countries have such a legacy as we do. So this is another moment of pride. When they say, yes, this is the Egyptian presenter. And it's always, by the way, it's always, I always be very careful when I present abroad, because you have people from all over the countries. People who love you or who do not love you. Yet you have to be very impartial, scientific, objective person. And they have to respect you. They have to respect you. They cannot do anything except respecting you. This is another prize. When they try to come to you to get knowledge, to get something, people want to do articles with you. Okay. Want to get your business card. Want to listen to one of your lectures. Come and introduce a lecture for us. They're not saying me. It's not only me. It's me and all my teachers, all my professors, all my colleagues, all my subordinates. I learned from all of them. It's always about learning. We continue learning and giving back. Magdi Yaoub, Sir Magdi Yaoub, has a very distinctive call each and every day with his daughter. They compare he and her. What good deed did each one of them do, and who won her day? This is what he does. That's why he is unique. So it's about learning and giving back. This is.
I see that
one statement.
I see that you learned very well how to be an extrovert. So the learning process, because you have talked.
Yes. It took me, by the way, 3 years. It took me 3 years. To become a public speaker, as they say, it took me 3 years. It took me 3 staying by the edge and going out away from my nature. So it's all about hard work. Hard work.
That's
hard work,
what I was
ladies.
going to say. You stated a lot of challenges, and eventually you worked hard to reach every solution for every challenge.
It's always based on hard work, knowledge, new type of science, something new to learn. So it's always knowledge, hard work. This is it. And always, always stay aware. Do not isolate yourself in that ivory tower because you became a senior manager. No. Stay close to the source of information. Stay informed. Do not isolate yourself. This is very risky. It's a killer. It's a killer.
Definitely. I was going to say you can just tell us one message, but you already said it. It's knowledge and learning. So
yes.
This message,
hard work, hard work, hard work.
I hope
no shortcuts.
For all ladies, exactly.
Please. Ladies, we depend on you for the future. You have a better opportunity to make it much better.
I would like to thank Dr. Gina for this very interesting talk. And I always depend on her on several projects, and she's always working with us in the NILES conference that we prepare as a chair. And she's been giving us a lot of help. I really appreciate all what you do for Nile University. And I would like to thank you very much for this informative interview and for more collaborations.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Lobna, for joining us in this series of workshops related to women in engineering. Let me introduce Dr. Lobna. She's a senior IEEE member and a full-time associate professor at the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Sciences, Nile University. She received her bachelor, master's, and PhD degree in electronics and electrical communications from Cairo University. She's the vice chair of research activities at the IEEE Computational Intelligence Egypt chapter, and she's also the counselor of the IEEE Nile University student branch. She won the State Encouragement Award for the year 2019. She's also a selected member of the Egyptian Young Academy of Sciences, and she's currently the co-chair. And she's also selected as an affiliate member for the African Academy of Sciences. She was chosen to be a member of the Arab-German Young Academy, AGYA, for Science and Humanities. She also served in the many technical and organizing committee for several international conferences and many special sessions. Thank you, Dr. Lobna, for joining us in this short interview. We would like to ask you about the challenges that you faced during your academic career. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Irene, for this wonderful workshop. Actually, I have recently a challenge in working in the interdisciplinary area. The Egyptian culture is not ready for the interdisciplinary domain because you have to convince several people that you could do a good research together, and this is not an easy job, especially with people who work with medical field as we are in engineering field. Currently, I'm working in with lots of chemists and civil engineering to build how to create a wastewater treatment system. But actually, we have several challenges to convince, to find a common language that our posts could work with, because you have to deliver, to have some deliverables from the chemist and deliverables from the civil engineer and deliverables from the electrical engineer, and how can we connect these deliverables in one solid research. So it was not an easy job actually to do. And also finding a suitable journal to do this interdisciplinary kind of research. is also not an easy job. So this is one of the challenges I had recent in my career. Also, one thing, it's a personal challenge. Actually, I may look younger than I am.
Yes, you are.
And this give an indication. I always hear a word that, oh, you are young. How you are? I'm not young. I just maybe look a little bit young. So people start, are you sure you're an associate professor? Are you sure you are an engineer? Yeah, I am. So I think this kind of comments actually irritates me, because you shouldn't judge a person by his appearance. You should judge a person by his profile, the work he has done, not because he looks the stereotype kind of look you expect to have. So you start to give doubts on him. So this is something I faced all over my career, actually, not recent, like the interdisciplinary research. I think these are the two main items that I faced in my career. I consider myself lucky, because I worked with really very good people who let us shine and let us do work in a proper and in a good environment. So I didn't face other challenges. I actually have many opportunity. I appreciate all people I work with, actually, very much for letting me do my research in a healthy environment.
Thank you, Dr. Lobna, for pinpointing to very important issues. Actually, all of us have this comment: engineers, women, stuff like that. So, but you definitely look young. This is a side of the. Thank you for joining this interview, and let's wait for our life coach to tell us some tips about our career. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Irene.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're happy that you're joining us in the series of talks for women in engineering, funded by IEEE CAS. Today, our guest is Dr. Minatullah Serafi. She's an assistant professor at the Center of Genomics at the Wales City of Science and Technology. She's also a member in the Next Einstein Forum and the African Academy of Sciences. She's also a member of the Egyptian Young Academy of Sciences, and she's also a Global Young Academy GYA member and co-lead for the Women in Science Working Group. So she will be talking to us about her challenges in the academic life all through her journey. Dr. Minna, thank you that you joined this interview. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I would like to talk first about the challenges that I face usually. So the problem is that, we all have so much to do always. So you need to balance so well between raising your kids up, taking care of them, doing your job in the most perfect way. But okay, our job description is like quite, includes so many things. So we don't only do research in the lab, we write papers, we write grants, we apply for memberships in societies, we attend conferences, we make international collaborations and local collaborations, we do the grants reports, managing the finances of the grants. We have so much on our plate, we do so many things. So I think the most challenging part is trying to do the best to balance all these kind of stuff. And besides this, of course, taking care also of our well-being, the mental and physical well-being, because sometimes you really can manage all the other things, but then you realize that you are not feeling so well. So I would say that the main challenge for me is to try to keep everything balanced. Sometimes the priority would be for the kid, maybe. Sometimes the priority is for the research now. We're finishing a paper, we're tight on deadlines. Sometimes it's just you need to take a break. It's okay to take a couple of days off. It's okay to I don't know, try to be physically and mentally better. So it's worth investing in as well. So this is my main challenge. But speaking about challenges also, as you mentioned, I'm a Global Young Academy member and a co-lead of the Women in Science Working Group. And this year we are preparing a book about the different challenges that face women scientists. And so we wanted to address so many challenges. Maybe I didn't pass
Very interesting.
Yes.
I think But you have to mention the promotion challenge. We always go through a big challenge in the promotion at the Egyptian universities. This is
yes,
really
this is also, of course. Yes, I'm a postdoc. I have a PhD for 6 years now, but I'm not eligible to apply for promotion because I need to be an assistant professor for 5 years. You know, so yeah, I'll have to wait 9 years after the PhD to apply for a promotion. So this is like weird. Okay.
It's a real challenge, yeah, and
yes,
you definitely feel frustrated from all this effort. So
yes. Also, sometimes the people don't care so much about your time or you know, like how things could be time sensitive when dealing with grants, with projects, with, you know, this is like a very big challenge in Egypt that people need to realize the importance of time a little bit more. So,
yeah, you're wearing basically different hats all the time. So what do you think I mean, this is my same problem. So what do you think we can do to solve this biggest challenge?
Which one of them, the time sensitivity or the balancing the?
Yeah, I think the different hats is the main issue.
So yeah, I think it's just that you need to put something a priority for a while. So what I'm trying to do now is to not make like any meetings or hold any meetings on the weekends, not hold meetings after the working hours. This time is for me. If I decided to go and work, this is okay, but this should be according to my schedule if I feel like working or not. But if I'm obliged to be on a meeting, this is not okay. So I'm trying first to prevent this. Something else, I have a lot of students, so I'm very available, you know, like really available. They can reach me anytime. So I decided to like not let them reach me on the weekend and after the working hours so easily, because I get too stressed. I'm handling so many messages and emails talking about like technical problems or I don't know, future perspectives, you know, like I cannot have all this energy consumed in the evening as well. I need to relax to be able to be productive in the next day. So I decided to hold no meetings after the working hours and the weekends unless it's really, really urgent. Like we have a deadline for a grant, for a paper, something like really urgent. That should not happen except once a month.
Yes, you're definitely right. I mean, thank you so much for raising this point because it's a crucial point for every woman that has other commitments. And I'm really happy that you joined this interview. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Women in Engineering series of workshops. Welcome, Dr. Nesma Bulkhair. Today we have our guest. She is an additive manufacture team leader in the Technology Innovation Institute in Abu Dhabi, and she's also a visiting academic in the University of Nottingham in the UK. She will share with us her challenges in the academic life. Thank you for joining us, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Irene, for the introduction. It's lovely to be here today and talk to you about this. A bit of context about myself. So I'm an Egyptian, born and raised in Egypt, and I've lived there all my life until I finished my master's degree. And then I moved to the UK to pursue a PhD degree and start my academic career. And this is where the first challenge comes into play. So when I moved to the UK, it was my first time to live away from my family for what was supposed to be a 3 years course. So it was a very scary experience in the beginning, very worrying. How can I never lived by myself, so it was a bit overwhelming to start with. But I must say that the culture over there in the UK was very welcoming, and the university was well prepared. So it settled after a while, but it was very challenging in the beginning to be all by myself and juggling the life aspect and the studies as well. And then when I finished my course 3 years later, it was time to go back home, which was the milestone that I was always looking forward to. But then I got a job at the university over there, and I decided to take the opportunity to accumulate some more experience, which was, again, a scary decision that now I'm staying further from my family for a longer duration. And it was a hard decision to take, but I decided to do it in the end. And here I am, almost a bit more than 9 years later, and I still haven't returned to Egypt. So I think I managed to overcome the challenge and my fears, and it led to a successful career in the end. So the challenge brings you a lot of blessings in hiding, I would say.
This is very nice and very personal sharing. Thank you very much for this, and I hope you can still join us to see what would Coach tell us about how to overcome our challenge. Thank you, Dr. Nisma.
Sure, thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Sally, welcome to our Women in Engineering session. Dr. Sally is an assistant professor in Nile University in the Department of Industrial Engineering and CISC Research Center. She's also affiliated to the Faculty of Computer and Artificial Intelligence, Cairo University. Dr. Sally, we're very happy that you are with us in these series of sessions. We would like you to talk about the challenges that you faced during your academic career. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Irene. It is my pleasure to join you in this meeting. I have been through a number of challenges, as we all know, since I started my career in the academic field of in engineering. It started back in 1998. I have faced a number of challenges that I believe all women face, in addition to other challenges that usual academic researchers face. The regular academic challenges that we're all aware of are usually part of the publishing charges, for example, when we are paying for article processing charges and how to secure fund for that. The high competition in applying for funded proposals for new ideas. These are the regular challenges that we all face. In addition to some other challenges that are usually specific for young ladies and women in general, especially in the engineering field, because in engineering, we usually need to stay for long times in labs and in our universities and in our workplace. And this poses a good challenge for women, especially if we have to, for example, stay late at night and go back home in night times, which is usually not very preferable. Some other changes that we usually face, for example, some of us might have like little children that require a lot of time and attention. And this actually causes a lot of distraction that really affects the work in the academic and engineering field that require high attention span and a lot of time to come up with innovative ideas and practical ideas that are beneficial for everybody in the academic and engineering fields. So these are some of the challenges that we usually face, but require a lot of hard work. And we usually, from the support of colleagues and family and friends, we managed to get through somehow. So I hope this will not discourage anyone from working in the engineering and academic field, because usually you will find the support whenever there's a will, there's a way. So you will definitely find support if you decide to work in that field. Thank you very much for having me. It's been my pleasure to give a short note about my experience. And
Thank you so much for sharing your experience and real life story. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Irene. Thank you for having me. Okay, have a nice day.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this workshop for women in engineering funded by IEEE CAS. We have looked at several interviews and we knew how much women struggle in their academic life. So this is a very good chance. Our guest speaker today is Dr. Mary Faisal. She has a BSc in pharmacy from Helwan University. She also has an MBA in marketing from the Arab Academy for Science, Technology, and Marine Transport. She also has a diploma in life coaching from the Light University, USA, and an international certificate in human resources management from the University of Cambridge. It's also coupled by a diploma in pharmaceutical marketing research from Georgia University and a diploma in digital marketing from DM Arts Academy. So I think this is a very good combination. She is currently working as a life coach and she has a full-time job. So she will be able to answer some of the challenges that were faced by women through our interview. Thank you, Dr. Mary, for joining us. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Irene, for the introduction, and thank you for the Nile University. It's really an honor to participate in this interesting exercise, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to share with you some tips based on the videos that the doctors shared with Dr. Irene about their challenges that they face through their life. The stories are really very inspiring, and it reflects real effort put from these ladies to make the balance between life and their passion and following their passion. So I'd like to address the first point, which is setting priorities. This was mentioned by Dr. Lobna during the interview, that she had always faced the challenge of setting priorities. So let me share with you a graph on the relation between the importance and urgency of the tasks. So if we look at this, if we look at this diagram, we'll see 4 quadrants. In the 4 quadrants, we have the high and low urgency and importance of each of the tasks. So we'll see in the quadrant on the left, right, it's on the left side, it's important but not urgent. And then we'll see that some things are urgent and important. Some tasks are neither important nor urgent, and some tasks are urgent but not important. So it all depends on how important is the task for us and what is the urgency to do. The key thing in this exercise is planning, because as long as we plan for the task, we are putting it in the right place and we are decreasing the pop-ups that may arise due to the urgency of doing things. Because we already have surprises in our life, in our daily life. So it's very important to decrease the surprises that arise from the normal life by planning our priorities and setting priorities. So when talking about the family and pursuing a degree, for example, the master's degree or the doctor's degree, it's very important to set the priorities, because at some point of time, she has to be available for her family, and this is on the weekends. So it's very important to keep the time, the family time. At the same time, during the working days, for example, she has to keep the work as the priorities, the urgent, the top priority. So she has to plan for the family that they don't need her, they are okay if she's not available for some time because she has meetings, she has presentations and so on. She has to work on something very important for her, which gives her the energy and satisfy her needs. So it's very important to set the priorities on the basis of how urgent and important is. Moving to the second point that Dr. Dina mentioned, for example, which was shifting the career. I actually faced the same challenge as well. That's why I felt this is very familiar for me as well, because I had to change careers many times before, and explaining my new job to others was really difficult as well. So I really felt the same as she explained to everyone. So when we think of shifting career, it's very important to test the waters, because we are not sure how are we going to move through this exercise. We are not sure how suitable is this career shift for us. So we need to test it. We need to make some studies maybe at some time. Maybe we can have some freelancing or part-time job if possible. For some jobs, it's really possible to have a side job, to have it as a side job, just to make sure that, yes, this is convenient, this is matching with our passion, and this is really a successful story and the right track to move on to for the time being. So it's really very important to study it well and to make sure that the steps are smooth and confident at the same time, to make sure that it is as smooth as possible. The other thing that I'd like to talk about is leaving the comfort zone. We had Dr. Nesma talking about leaving home and traveling to the UK to pursue her master's degree, I believe. So she had to leave her comfort zone. And leaving the comfort zone means that we may have some fears, we may have some hesitation about what are we facing. We'll be living in a new country, in new circumstances, a new environment, and so on. So she had to look for things to make her comfortable, to make sure that she is okay working away from home, she's okay living away from the family and everything. When pursuing a new career or going out of the comfort zone, we need to look at something very important, which is the circle of influence. What will decrease our comfort, discourage, is that we may have some concerns. Let us put it in the blue cycle, if you can see the diagram here. So the blue cycle is the circle of concerns. In the circle of concerns, we put all the things, all the fears, all the question marks that we have, all the surprises that we are expecting, whatever concerns we have for this move. And then we start to think about what can be under control. So maybe the language is under control. There is no language barrier, for example. Or the friends barrier is okay because I have some relatives or I have a friend living nearby, for example. So I start to put all the fears that are under control in the circle, the purple circle that we draw in the middle, and we put all the concerns that we can manage, that we can control in this area. So we'll be left with a circle of influence, the yellow circle, which is the tasks or the things that we need to influence. Let's have an example, a real life example on this exercise, which is the COVID-19. We are all living different circumstances currently, and we are putting the COVID-19 in the circle of concerns. We have vaccination. We're not sure which one to take and which one is the best. We are not sure about the side effects. We need to wear masks. We are not sure how we are going to travel everywhere. We're not sure how to deal with people. So we have some fears and we have concerns and we have a lot of hesitation about the situation that we are going through. So we put all the concerns on the blue circle, and then we start to look on what we have control on. If we are wearing our masks, then we are in control. If we are taking the vaccine, so we are in control. We are cleaning our homes and we are cleaning our offices. So this is under control. The circle of influence then comes in relation with people. We are keeping the distance. We are wearing, you're using alcohol, for example, just to make sure that everything around is okay. Yes, it's not under our control. We are not sure how people are getting infected, but at least we are keeping the social distance to make sure that this is the part we can influence. We cannot manage, but we can influence and make sure that it's not affecting us. We are adapting through this circle of influence, making sure that it's not affecting us. And this is how we can get through this, and this is how we can adapt to the new situation, avoiding all the fears or at least minimizing some of them to make sure that we can go on and pursue the new life. The stories were very interesting. These ladies had the passion and the excitement about pursuing their dream jobs or dream studies and posts. And they are really very inspiring, and it reflects nothing but a real aspiration that's really was aspiring to everyone, I believe, inspiring, and for me as well. So thank you for this invitation, and I hope that I could manage to offer you some quick tips on the challenges that we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mary. Actually, you looked at several points, which is the priorities and the shift in career and moving abroad. So thank you for highlighting these tips, and hopefully we'll have more collaboration in other talks. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you very much.